Today we delve into the intriguing concept of bossless organizations, a topic gaining a lot of traction in the present day. And we'll explore an experiential learning exercise designed to reflect this idea, empowering your participants, whether they are students or clients, to feel and understand the dynamics involved rather than just grasping it theoretically. In this video, we're going to put the spotlight on the design of the exercise. Reflection, an equally important aspect, will be the subject of another video, so stay tuned. And now, without further ado, let's dive right in. The desire for autonomy in the workplace is gaining momentum. And I would say it's a wonderful evolution that unleashes the wisdom of a crowd, spreads responsibility on many shoulders, and often might lead to remarkable outcomes. But you might wonder, is it really that straightforward? Unfortunately, you might guess that it is not. The freedom to voice one's opinion often comes at the price of increased responsibility and effort, causing many to recoil. Through this intervention, I've thrived to mirror these two sides, and I believe that you, as professors in executive education or as consultants, you can do too if you dare. Before you decide to take the plunge, let's see how this intervention works. That is typically used in courses dealing with leadership and change. And here is how the design unfolds. In the week or perhaps the day before, I introduce the forthcoming exercise in a very gentle and very subtle way. I might, for example, say, next week or tomorrow, you have the opportunity to reflect the pros and cons of self-directed teams and the abundance of leadership, which is a very, very indirect way of announcing what will happen. And honestly, usually people don't really get it. I also provide a few slides ahead of the session for reference. So I send them a week before, sometimes the night before, which is more obvious about what will happen the next day. By the way, feel free to take screenshots of the slides presented at the end of this video if you would like to use them. And these slides are very, very important because these slides serve as a safety net within the orchestrated chaos that I'm about to create. And in the face of uncertainty, in the face of chaos, participants can refer to these slides and use them as a starting point, but also as an anchor. They can hold on to it. Other supporting anchors are pens, paper, and name tags that might be available in the room, depending on the stress level you aim to introduce. As a rule of thumb, the more anchors, the less stress, because every anchor is obviously helpful. If they're in the open sea, they can hold on to that. And the real kicker that leads to stress? Super easy. I just don't show up for the session. Yes, you heard that right. My absence, it is an intervention, often plunges the participants into a whirlwind of emotions, mirroring the change curve many of you might be familiar with. And while participants grapple with my absence, a very, very important thing, I stay nearby, usually in my office so that they don't see me, but ready to intervene if required. Intervenes means if I'm contacted. And then I typically reply with, well, from my perspective, the session has already started. And that brings them to work sooner or later. And after about 30 to 45 minutes, based on your comfort with the level of tension, you can make an appearance. Typically, you'll find a group deeply engrossed in their work and just assure them that you're available, but refrain from interfering unless requested. Usually, after about 90 minutes, up to 2 hours, they're ready for you to rejoin them and encourage them to reflect on their experience using the questions provided on the slide that I'm showing now. This will take roughly 30 to 45 minutes, but this reflection is important to contain the stress that might have come up. So make sure to allocate around 3 hours for this exercise in total. Also bear in mind that this exercise might generate a significant amount of stress for the group And honestly, some participants may not appreciate the unconventional approach. But if you're willing to take the risk, I would say it's a fantastic intervention that people will remember a long, long time after. To assist you in facilitating the reflection, stay tuned for another video where I'll talk about the conceptual framework behind the intervention. But in the meantime, your comments or questions about the experiential learning exercise are most welcome. Please leave them in the comment section below.